Hey everyone, Cap from TCG Break here, bringing you my True Draco deck profile for the April 2021 format. This is a great anti-meta deck, essentially built to stun your opponent, and is one of the few decks that uses the Tribute Summon mechanic to its advantage. So with that being said, without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with the main monster lineup, I'm playing the one copy of Dynamite Knight, the True Draco Fighter. This has the effect where you can Tribute Summon it by tributing a continuous spell or trap card you control instead of a monster. And once per turn, during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect while you control Dynamite, you can take one True Draco or True King continuous trap from your deck and either activate it or add it to your hand. Continuing with the True Draco monster lineup, I'm playing 3 copies of Ignis Heat, the True Draco Warrior. Ignis Heat has the same effect, where you can Tribute Summon it by tributing one continuous spell or trap you control. It also has the effect once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect while you control Ignis Heat, you can quick effect take one True Draco or True King continuous spell from your deck and either activate it or add it to your hand. I'm also playing 3 copies of the Majesty Maiden, the True Draco Caster. This has the once per turn effect during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect while you control Majesty Maiden. You can add one True Draco or True King monster from your deck to the hand. That's it for the monster lineup. Now moving on to the spells. I'm playing 3 copies of True Draco Heritage. This has the effect during your main phase, where you can draw cards equal to the number of True Draco and True King card types, being that of monster, spell, and trap cards, sent from the field to the graveyard that turn. Also during your main phase, you can Tribute Summon one True Draco or True King monster face up. And if True Draco Heritage is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can target one spell or trap on the field and destroy it. I'm also playing 3 copies of Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix. This has the effect where you can target 3 True Draco and or True King cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw 1 card. This also allows you during your main phase to Tribute Summon one True Draco or True King monster face up, and if Disciples is sent from the spell or trap zone to the graveyard, you can target 1 spell or trap on the field and destroy it. Also playing the 1 copy of Dragonic Diagram. This has the effect where all True Draco and True King monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense, and also the first time a Tribute Summon True Draco or True King monster would be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed, and then once per turn, you can destroy 1 other card you control or that's in your hand, and if you do, you can add 1 True Draco or True King card from your deck to the hand. I'm playing 3 copies of Domain of the True Monarchs. We are able to easily utilize this card in this deck, especially since we do not have an extra deck, as it has the effect, while you have no cards in your extra deck, and you are the only player that controls a Tribute Summon monster, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. Also, if a Tribute Summon monster you control attacks an opponent's monster, it gains 800 attack. I'm also playing the 1 copy of Terraforming in order to search out either of our field spells. For their Monarch spell support, I'm playing 3 copies of the Monarch Storm Forth. Once during the turn this is activated, if you would Tribute Summon a monster for a Tribute Summon, you can Tribute 1 monster your opponent controls instead. I'm also playing 3 copies of Pantheism of the Monarchs. This allows you to send a Monarch spell or trap card from your hand to the graveyard and then draw 2 cards. You are also able to banish Pantheism from your graveyard and reveal 3 Monarch spell or traps from your deck, and your opponent chooses 1 of them to add to your hand. And to round it out for the spell lineup, I'm playing 3 copies of Pot of Duality. With Duality, you are able to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 of them to your hand, and the rest are shuffled back into the deck. Moving on to the trap lineup, I'm playing 3 copies of True Draco Apocalypse. If Apocalypse is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can target 1 monster on the field and destroy it. It also has the following effects, where you can target 1 True Draco or True King card you control, destroy it, and if you do, the attack and defense of all face-up monsters your opponent controls are halved. Also during your opponent's main phase, you can Tribute Summon 1 True Draco or True King monster face up. Continuing with the trap lineup, I'm playing 3 copies of True King's Return. If this is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can target 1 monster on the field and destroy it. You can also target 1 True Draco or True King monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position, but you are unable to special summon monsters for the rest of the turn. Also, during your opponent's main phase, you can tribute summon 1 True Draco or True King monster face up. I'm playing 3 copies of the Monarch's Erupt. You are only able to activate this card if you have no cards in your extra deck and you control a tribute summon monster. You are able to negate the effects of all face-up monsters on the field, except those of tribute summon monsters, and during your end phase, if you control no tribute summon monsters, you are required to send the Monarch's Erupt to the graveyard. Further trap support, I'm playing the 1 copy of Metaverse. This allows us to search out either of our field spells, as it has the effect where you can take a field spell from your deck and either activate it or add it to your hand. And to round it out for the main deck, I'm playing 3 copies of Summon Limit. This is an excellent addition to this deck, as it has the effect where neither player can summon more than 2 times per turn. That rounds it out for the main deck lineup, and again we do not play an extra deck. So moving on to the side deck, I'm playing 3 copies of Inspector Border. This allows you to further control the game, as it has the effect where neither player can activate monster effects unless the number of monster effects that player previously activated in the turn is less than the number of monster card types currently on the field, being that among Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, and Link monsters. I'm also playing 3 copies of Mystic Mine. You may choose to side this in depending on the matchup, and it certainly helps this deck in order to draw out the game to further gain card advantage, as it has the effect where if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. Further trap support, I'm playing 3 copies of Lose 1 Turn. You are able to activate this card only if you currently control no special summon monsters, and it has the effect during the turn a monster is special summoned, you can negate its effects. Also, if an effect monster is special summoned in attack position, you can change it to defense position. A great addition to this deck, I'm playing 3 copies of There Can Be Only One. This has the effect where each player can only control 1 monster of each type, and if a player controls 2 or more monsters of the same type, they are required to send monsters to the graveyard so they control no more than 1 monster of that specific type. This is great in this deck especially, since pretty much all of your Draco monsters are worm-type monsters. And to round it out for the side deck, I'm playing the 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. This helps to further control the game, as it has the effect when a monster would be summoned or a spell or trap card is activated, you can pay half of your life points, negate the summon or activation, and destroy that card. So this has been my True Draco deck profile for the April 2021 format. As always, if you enjoyed the video and would like to see more like it, feel free to give us a like and subscribe. Feel free to leave any suggestions regarding changes you would make to the deck in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, until the next one, have a nice day.